meeting if we could. Just for the record, we went to visit the folks that lost St. Pierre.
Yeah.
St. Pierre, as we mentioned before, and we've just finished that. And the result, or what we're going to do with that, will be discussed at the hearing, I guess. I'm not going to discuss it now. And Clifton has not visited the property yet. So he will make arrangements, I'm sure, on his own to go visit the barn. And this has been warned as a joint meeting with the road committee and the selectmen. So come on and join us. Come on up.
From the front row.
Front row, come on, right up. Come on, we need you.
The Bob Euchre seats. Do you guys have a copy of what the proposals were?
I didn't bring it with me.
And I don't have one.
I'll go make copies.
That was the last proposal, the last.
Right.
And Brad just pulled in.
As of November. He may have more of them too.
The proposal had our priorities on roads,
Right.
and there's dollar figures. We hadn't reviewed the dollar figures when we developed the priorities, so.
Why don't you come on up here? Everybody come on up. Will that create a problem for your taping? No. Okay.
I made myself at home, I got a lot of water.
You find an increase in your tax bill next week.
I already received it.
Oh, gee. The amended bill will be there next week.
You're invited to a front row seat here.
Well, thank you, thank you. I'm a front row kind of guy.
All right. Who's representing the road committee?
The chairman.
The chairman.
Okay. And who are any other members of the road committee here?
Why, yes.
Here.
Mr. Hill is. You are as a general member
Okay.
of the committee, member at large. Chairman Camp, who is not here, is the selectman's rep to the committee.
Okay.
And road agent Mason is here as an advisory position to the road committee.
Okay.
Gary Chickarone is the one person we are missing, and he did tell him about the meeting in person. He's aware of it. I don't know if he'll be able to join us or not. Good evening, Mr. Brown.
Good evening. And I've previously been on the road committee, and never been on well, if that's okay.
That's good.
This
We can
is,
still be on it.
yeah. This is a copy of what we had as of November. That's still what I know, so anybody that wants a copy, you got one.
So what we do know is the amount of money that the voters approved. And we do know we need to pick a project so that it can be arranged to start.
Thank you.
And go from there.
You got one still?
Yeah. We, the road committee did make a recommendation. They laid out a 5-year plan for the selectmen, their recommendations, and what order, to what extent the work be done.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that the board possibly have other thoughts on the priorities as to which it should occur.
Well, the issue, I think, is the amount of money we have that's been approved. So that may be
The
it.
approved amount is 75.
75. So I can say for myself, was a matter, wasn't, I'll let you, or chairman of the board, so I'll let you speak, I'll be quiet.
No, I thought the road committee made their recommendations to the selectmen, and it's up to the selectmen to decide their priorities, to provide guidance to the road agent as to what he's going to do this summer. And
I'm sorry, Tom, which copy did you say you have?
12, 20, 11.
Yep, version 3, that's the latest.
first priority listed was Electric Road.
Yep.
How about the numbers? Have they changed much? The paving?
Not that I'm aware of.
And the question is, have the numbers changed much, do you think, on material? In other words, is the 94,000 still a good number for Lightford Road, or all the numbers still good?
Now, can you do Lyford Road for 75,000? Then we can decide where to go from there. And then you can decide which one.
And again, there's the issue that wasn't resolved by the selectmen, in that, like Clark Road, Gurney Road, I believe have all been 18 feet wide. This calls for 20 feet wide for some reason on Lyford. Obviously, you can reduce those numbers by going with an 18-foot wide road.
But the current width is 20.
Pardon?
The current width is 20.
Yeah.
That's the current-
There's no regulation.
Oh, no, I understand that. The current width is 20. By making it narrower, you can...
But that's kind of been the standard we've been using. Eddie, you're welcome to...
Well, that was a minimum we had set,
Yeah.
that when we did, 18 was a
18.
minimum. But, I mean, I don't know, from a maintenance point of view and plowing and all that, 20 is nicer. You have more room to pass and or whatnot, but that's strictly up to you folks.
I think in that regard, even though we're saying the roads are 18, we've tried as much as possible where we can to push them out closer to 20, and 20 is what we're ultimately what we'd be able to achieve. I realize there's no standards, but I think if you look at subdivision rates right now, they call for something like 24 feet. So we're just trying to strike a happy medium in between. The 20-foot road is, in my opinion,
Brad, what are you holding for paving costs, price per ton?
paving is 47 cents a square foot. Give me a second and I can probably tell you that.
I come up with a $500 savings on gravel just for quick figures, but given the quantity, we might be able to do better on gravel.
It was, what we discussed, I want to say it was around $75 a ton is what we picked as a figure.
I think so. I mean, I just don't have the formula in my head to do it to see how it works out.
Is that about what it is now?
Yeah, I think right now it's like 72, but, you know, who knows where, I mean, gas is coming down now, but diesel hasn't yet, so, you know, who knows when this,
And oil's
you only
down,
get it for like a 30-day window.
and oil's down too, so maybe asphalt is down also, but who knows?
Right, we certainly could call and,
Maybe we each pick up the bucket load when we go by Route 16 down there at the work in Rochester.
We, $75 a ton, that's what we use.
So at the moment, we're 20,000, if we were forgetting the road, we're $20,000 short to do Lyford
And what part of
At a
life,
20-foot width.
at a 20-foot width, right?
and what part of life are we talking about? From Clark up? Or
from Clark to the crest of the hill. We did 350 foot, we filled the gully. It used to come down over the hill like that, real steep, and we evened that out. So Jesse Tubble's driveway, on the north side of Jesse Tubble's driveway, down to the intersection of Clark Road.
And Clark down to 109 is the state?
That's
The
state.
state road.
Okay.
Excluding winter maintenance.
What difference would the 20 feet going down to 18?
I'm doing that right now,
Okay.
as you can read.
Throw that one up there.
Should be a decrease.
That's a 10% decrease. And with a figure overall 10% decrease in cost.
That would save you just about $4,000 in gravel alone.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
A concern I have with Lyford and making the road really good is we heard a resident talk to us last Tuesday about the speed and the heavy trucks. And a concern I have is we're going to make the road nice, and I suspect the heavy trucks will just go faster on it. Will the road hold up?
The speed is an enforcement thing.
The plan calls for 3 inches of asphalt because it's heavier, more heavily traveled. The roads where the traffic is lighter, we only put down 2 inches of asphalt.
Part of the improvements for plowing, because if you walk the road, if you look at it, it goes like this.
And my concern is with the heavy trucks. Are we gonna do that again? You don't think so? Okay.
Not with a better base.
Well, think about,
Clark?
regardless of the posting that used to be on there, the trucks, before I lose track, let me back up and say, the gravel savings would be $2,000,
Okay.
going down to an 18-foot width of pavement. Then addressing the, I think if you talk to the police department, I talk to other road committees or road departments, when you redo a road like that, some people drive faster. A lot of it is a perception. I don't know if it's truly going to increase speed. Is it going to increase the amount of trucks that go across there? I don't think so.
Oh, I agree with that. I don't think so
I think
either.
whatever trucks go across there now are going to stay across there. Because the road, when you drive it, seems relatively smooth, relatively being a relative word, because the issue is it's running, not bumps. So when you get in the rut, just like when we did Lyford Road, Garney Road traveled at 25, 30 miles an hour. You wouldn't think, well, a lot of people said, well, why do you need to do that? But it's it's cleaning it for safe travel in the wintertime. So there are not trucks that are not traveling that road because of bumps. So my answer to that is whatever trucks travel it now will be the same trucks. I don't think truck traffic will increase.
Who was the gentleman that was in? I guess it doesn't matter.
Ron Pryor.
Okay.
As far as holding up, it's going to hold up much better.
Okay, it was his opinion that we're getting new truck traffic because it's a shortcut.
I don't live there, so I don't count trucks. But actually,
There's no question, and he called me because we had this gigantic truck going up the road, and the guy was taking a shortcut. He ran out and stopped him and questioned what he was doing, and he was very upset because he thought it was a posted road, no trucks through, and a weight limit.
Yeah.
And he was very upset. And then we did discussed earlier that it was a issue with the no justification where it was legally, the decision was made. So his concern is, can anything be done to keep the gigantic trucks? These were big guys coming through. I mean, these big, really humongous trucks. And they were coming through for a couple days. Keep them from coming through. Can it get posted again by weight limit or no through trucks?
you have to have just cause to do that. That's what the town attorney has said.
Do we have culverts that would justify that, or won't make a difference because of where they're...
Culverts are installed. Well, as I responded to Ron's, when he asked me and started telling me all about this, things that come, the culverts are installed to withstand that weight. The other issue is we receive state funds for that road, so that other people can use that road. It's not a private road for just the people who live on it. And then the other thing to understand is those big trucks don't do as much damage as most people just automatically think. Big truck, big damage. But your most damage is done by like an oil truck, a single wheel heavy truck. They have more weight per square inch on the road than those big trucks do.
And the outcome of our previous discussion was basically that, individuals on a road can't dictate who can use the road. The state says they're public highways, and we're very limited in what we can do.
If we had a bridge that was, not, it was on the state's red list or even on the watch list, that would give us cause to put a weight limit on it. Just because it's gravel. Gravel roads hold up to weight just as well as paved roads do.
Because of its historic nature or scenic road, does that make a difference?
I've never looked at it from that point of view. I myself wouldn't throw an opinion out on that.
Oh, yeah,
I would ask the town attorney on that.
Okay.
I think you're fine even though they maintain the road very well. The dirt section of Lyford Road keeps a lot of people off. They won't go that way just because of the dirt section, they'll go the other way. And the times I spent up there in the cemetery doing that, most of the people going by who are exceeding 45, 50 miles an hour aren't the big trucks. You know, it's the residents.
And we can refer back to the traffic count because that tells you the speed, tells you the time of day, and it actually tells you the size of the truck, the size of the vehicle in groups, doesn't it? Doesn't it group them into weight classes?
Doesn't group into weight classes. You can tell by the error codes whether it's a tractor trailer or not.
Okay. But there is a way to tell,
Yeah.
you know, how many big trucks go across it. And everybody's perception is different, and I think we've done that twice. And the speed isn't an issue.
Perception is not necessarily reality.
Okay, well, it's just when we brought up the topic with Ron, I promised when we discuss it, so we at least discuss that. Down to deciding, first of all, what could be done for Lyford to bring the road down. We were up to, you guessed 10,000. You said 2 for your part, so if we took 10,000 off the 10% off the whole thing. So roughly $85,000-ish if we went down to 18 feet width. We're still 10 over.
Then you could go with a 75,000 out of the budget and say perhaps 10,000 if it became necessary out of his O&M budget, assuming Eddie is in agreement with that.
He's already taken money out of it before, and it's up to you guys, how much you want done in the town.
How much can you afford to
Nothing.
next question.
Next question, please. Well, I mean, how much is my budget down overall? You know, just, the budget went down this year from last year. At budget.
Well, we decreased something, so we weren't going to do the plow and the mowing on the side, so that some of this stuff was, cut some of that stuff down.
And probably when Eddie was out for his bids, he'll have a lot better feel for exactly,
Yeah, I mean,
based on the market this summer versus, you know, in the past, we didn't know where it was going, $4 a gallon.
we could grind it, put the gravel down, and leave it unpaved till next year.
Do you think you get phone calls now?
Hey, I'm just throwing things out there.
You may have people that like that.
You're right.
Exactly right. People might like that.
I suggested that for Stone Road, and people didn't think it was a good deal. I guess we should decide on the 20 versus 18 versus 20 feet.
Well, if we go 18, what kind of shoulders? Are we going to still maintain the road to the full width with just more shoulder? If we go 18 feet, or we
Well, if we're taking the gravel out, we would be reducing the overall road width by 2 feet.
The gravel will come down to 20, and the asphalt will come down to 18.
Yeah, you have a 1-foot shoulder on each side of the asphalt.
Can we maintain that, or are we going to lose that?
We're gonna lose that because we're not gonna be putting the gravel.
Well, then the other question is, what do we do? Don't do 2,600 feet. What if we do half of that, or two-thirds of that, or whatever?
Part of that does come to cost effectiveness, Rich, as far as getting a paving company in there to do the work. The shorter the distance they do, transportation costs become more to get the equipment in and out from a proportional standpoint. So it's, to do a shorter distance now, yep, that may pay, but trying to get somebody to come in to do 900 feet at a later date may not necessarily be cost effective. Now, I mean, we're recommending Lyford Road first, that's not.
Right, all right, that's next. I just wanted to get that part of it out of the way. So just for your sense for the 20 feet versus the 18 feet, just a sense of, I don't know if I should do it this way, but what would your sense be? 20 versus 18?
Don't start with me, start with somebody else.
We've had very good luck with Clark Road and not Lyford, but Gurney Road at 18 feet. We
Okay.
have no problems with vehicles passing.
We have an 18.
We've been doing 18.
Now, I know, I'm just saying that you want an 8, you're suggesting an 18. I'm just trying to get some other people's opinions.
Personally, I'd rather see 20. You get on Clark Road, when you get a big vehicle coming the other way, even if you're in a passenger car, it's iffy, especially in the turns. I mean, now Lyford's pretty much straight, so there's not that problem. But you get into Clark Road on a turn, and you're halfway through it, and the tractor trailer is coming the other way. 18 feet is close.
Now, we're in your way, Brad.
My preference would be 20. Can I live with something less? Yes, but my preference is 20.
Okay?
My preference would be 20.
And I would qualify that, you know, if we can afford 20, we should do 20. And Ed put in 4 inches of gravel, and I think that's a good recommendation on his part. We've been doing 3 inches in some places and 6 inches in others, depending on the water content, how soggy the area is. But I think for that road and the heavy travel, the 4 inches is probably something we should stick with.
I've got another question now.
Sure.
Why do we have Bryce at 22, some at 22, some 18?
Those
some
are the
20?
widths, the existing widths now.
So the policy or the recommendation for the town should be, I mean, Lyford's a sort of a major road.
Well, we never set a maximum, we set a minimum. When we do a road, we would achieve 18 feet. Minimum. When we put this kind of money, we agreed that if we're gonna put this kind of money into a section of road, we would at least do 18 feet.
Okay.
What's the state portion below us?
Oh, I don't know, it's gotta be all of 20 feet.
I think it's 20. I'm not sure.
It's the same? Okay.
In answer to that, Rich, why some of the roads are different. Life Road underwent a major reconstruction. It's a very wide right-of-way, that portion of it. And so they pushed out to what they could without getting ridiculous. Bryce Drive is a sort of new, relatively new subdivision in town. When I say relatively new, it's probably 40 years old. So at that time, I think you'll find that's what the town was pushing. And I'm not sure, but I think our subdivision regulations now call for a 24-foot road.
Or 22 or something.
22.
It's considerably wider than most of the.
But that's where the widths came from, Rich.
Ray, you want to jump in with an opinion, or
On what's that?
on the width of the road? I don't know. You're public?
Hey, Raymond.
The wider the better.
What you can afford, and that's the issue, is what you can afford. That's, your taxes are gonna go up if that's where the thing goes.
I think we should try to hold the budget. Now, where can we give to hold the budget? Does it make sense to go to 18 feet, or does it make sense to shorten the route, or does it make sense to do something else?
Right, that's the next one, that's, right.
Something else on that road, on that road.
Oh, on that road, okay. Yep.
Brad?
Yes, sir.
Did you use Pike's paving calculator? I mean, you feel comfortable with this number?
Yes, I use their paving calculator. Yes,
You just go online and do it.
exactly, that's what I did. Now, the other thing is I understand what the selectmen are trying to keep the budget in line, but it was also the road committee's recommendation to appropriate $75,000 and not $65,000.
I understand.
Eddie, do you remember what the projection was on Stoneham Road for your project last year?
That's,
How much
I'm trying to figure out what the paving costs were for that.
Because we were worried about it, and yet Eddie brought it in 10,000 under budget. So,
Want to be in the town report?
Yeah, but I don't think it breaks it down.
no, I don't think so.
Let me, if you give me a minute, I'll see if I can't find the individual paving costs.
My only point is, with the price of gas dropping and stuff, maybe we'll get a break on the asphalt, and I think there's a good possibility that we'd be able to bring it in around 75, 85, which is doable.
He very well maybe the difference between that and these figures now is no longer are we including any of the prep work in the cost of the project. The prep work would be coming out of the regular operating budget. And I think you find that's probably where he saved a lot of money, was the prep work was not as extensive as we had originally estimated. So I don't know if I'd hold a lot, realistically, I wouldn't want to take a lot of that to the bank or anything.
Well, I understand. I think it's part of it is, we're going to have to see how the bids come in. You know, you can defer the decision on the 18 versus the 20 until you find out what they're going to say it would cost for 20 and what it would cost for 18.
I think one thing Selectmen should consider up here at the top, the annual price increase of 2%, which is probably fair, makes next year the thing another $2,000–3,000 more. It's not going to get any cheaper to do it, and it will have to be done. It's just a matter of when. And maybe to get the more expensive project done this year, and then next year's tentatively is a little less.
If we're looking at Stone Road, and we can say do 2,000 feet versus 2,200 and 2,400, and that's incrementally, that works out easy. Lyford Road, because it wouldn't look good to finish it, leave 200 feet undone or something.
I agree, you gotta get to it all, or,
Yeah.
that's, okay. Wait for Eddie to come with his numbers. How about opinions on more Moose, or stick with Moose Mountain and Stone West? The little part of Moose Mountain there, little, it's not that little. More, actually. Moose Mountain would be 37,000 roughly, and Stone West would be 32. You go to all
Projected for next year. Yeah, I thought we had a good session on looking at the priorities, assuming we can stick to our schedule.
One thing that does concern me though is this year is the second highest year at 94,000. Next year is the lowest year at 71,000. We're basically $85,000 to $95,000 on these projects. Now, maybe this isn't necessarily the time to discuss it, but if we're going to be looking at the funding down in the $65,000 range, maybe all of these projects need to be reworked into shorter sections or whatever to bring them all within the budget and project it out beyond 2017. Maybe we need to add another 3 years to this program.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I'm assuming the sequence is correct, because you folks have looked at the roads, you know what has to be done, so I believe that's the way we should go. But you're raising the issue is 2017, the end date.
Well, it's not the end date, we just carried this out that far. But do we need to complete this number of projects, do we need to look at it even a longer term project? The problem is then we get into which the roads start failing faster than we can repair them.
No, you don't want to be there.
At this rate, there's no end to this project. It's just, by the time you get through, you just go right around and go.
Well, I'm not sure that's bad, as long as you...
No, it's not bad, as long as you, like Brad was stating, you actually want to get a little bit ahead so that you go around and you're redoing things, but you're not doing them to the extreme.
Ryan, do you remember what we have in that account? I know we can't go take any more out. That's set aside for the road repair. What does it say?
Yeah, I don't remember any. Brad's right, it might be around 85.
Because originally it showed up as around 128.
It was 82. 82. When we amended our numbers.
As of December 31st, it was $88,361.18.
Okay.
So we have $88,000 there set aside in the nest egg, which would mean that anytime, if we end up using that over the next 5 years and we draw that down to zero, then we have nothing to pull from.
Well, actually,
But you can't expend that money without
Oh, no, we can't do
the
it.
town meeting
Right.
approval.
the town approved 75,000,
Right. But we can't take,
but we only raised 65,000, so 10,000.
it's coming out of that.
Right.
10,000 already is coming out of that fund.
Well, I'm looking down the line as to if we say next year did $65,000 or $70,000 and you took some money out of that account, you could theoretically keep it at the $75,000 range. but you'd use up your nest egg that you've set aside.
Which you might need on some of those bigger projects yet to come.